I started my career out as an elementary school teacher. I taught sixth grade for 5 years, and then I was a principal for 19 years. And that was my first exposure in 1981 to something that changed my whole life, and that is community organizing. I helped create St. Paul Ecumenical Alliance of Congregations, and then that gave birth to what is now today in Minnesota, Isaiah. So because you have to know that background to understand how public achievement came to be. I would call it a way of doing public problem solving with everyday people at the center. So everybody felt that they were a part of the school and that they could contribute. Now, the school transformed into a different type of educational institution. My school and everybody in it were part of the laboratory for public achievement for 6 years. We created it as we went. It was exciting. Kids were learning how to do politics. They were learning how to work with people that weren't their friends. And there were many projects, and people didn't necessarily know what was going on, but they knew the kids wanted to come to school. And they wanted to come to school because they had a voice in their education. So for me, public achievement was the icing on the cake that had teachers and students have a different type of voice than most schools, even to this day. They didn't have somebody telling them what to do, but rather they were in charge of their own learning, and they were working on things that they chose themselves. Like we had 3 murders in the neighborhood one month, and the kids wanted to do something about it, and they looked at how they could celebrate the good things in a neighborhood as well as honoring those who had died. And they set up a peace march prayer service. 600 people showed up, every politician in the Twin Cities, and the kids led the march. And then they came back to our place for a soup supper. So it was a community builder. The kids were developing something we would call in academia civic agency. I like to think of it as public confidence. And that's something very important, especially in today's world where there's so much going on. One of the questions I think we have to ask ourselves as educators is not only are we providing students with content and knowledge, but I think more importantly, the ability to navigate the world as it is and to develop confidence to be able to bring about change around things that they care about. And when I teach my class, I always say we're all teachers and we're all learners. So with that attitude, we can learn a lot from young people in co-creating classes and stuff like that. Develop them as engaged citizens. You want your son or daughter to be able to express herself in a way that is respectful. You want her to learn how to negotiate. But I think your school should be a beacon of hope and a beacon of education that has a paradigm shift, that you have to demonstrate how they're learning everything that they would in another school, but the process is different. And the process is what's going to help them get a job and be an active citizen, I think the school could be a model public achievement site and, be connected worldwide to participants that are involved in a common interest in public achievement.